Well, if you've just joined us, this is Stephanie Abrams here at jetset411, and I'm really concerned about those of you who are considering taking a tour or a cruise or perhaps buying your family of 4 or more non-refundable airline tickets to do something wonderful. And I'm wondering if you've read the fine print in the brochures or perhaps at a website that you're considering buying from, and noticing that there may be some very heavy cancellation penalties once you buy the product if you decide not to go, or in the event that you're traveling and you have to interrupt the trip in the middle. So I thought it would be a good idea to think about the economics of your travel and protecting your investment in travel by inviting to have with us today the president and CEO of InsureMyTrip.com, Mr. James Grace. Welcome, Jim. It's a delight to have you with us.
Stephanie, thank you for having me.
Let's talk first about who is the person who should buy travel insurance.
People should buy travel insurance to protect their travel investments. So anyone who is going on a trip that is concerned about that investment and needs to be sure that their investment will be returned in an emergency, a canceled trip, a weather delay, a travel emergency. Those are people that really need to consider travel insurance.
You know, you bring up a few different points in that regard, one of them being that you may be canceling a trip before you even start to go.
Absolutely. Travel insurance policies will protect you before and after the trip. So if you have a medical emergency or an illness that you have prior to departure, or if a loved one should become ill, those are reasons you can cancel a trip and get travel insurance protection from that.
Most companies like cruise lines and tour operators who package their own insurance, when you buy insurance from the people from whom you're buying the trip, it's almost like having the bank's attorney represent you at your closing on a piece of property.
Absolutely.
You've got a little bit of a conflict of interest there because it seems to me they're most concerned about protecting themselves from losing your investment. Can we address that a little bit?
Absolutely. It's very important to buy your travel insurance from a third party, someone who's not in the travel transaction. They're going to go to bat for you and with you when you do have a problem. Oftentimes, the cruise line policies give you vouchers, which typically are not such a great idea should a cruise line go out of business, and things like that. So having that third party working with you and protecting you is usually the best way to do it.
I think most of the time when people have a situation where they cannot go on a trip, they would prefer to have the money back to make the decision about when will be the next appropriate time when they want to go away, rather than get a voucher that's good for 12 months. And maybe, given the circumstances of the reason for their cancellation, a year from now, they won't be ready to go anywhere yet.
Absolutely. I think you and I would rather have the money back as opposed to some voucher in the future that is, only as good as the paper it's printed on, really. Travel insurance gives you money in the pocket and a return on your investment should you have a problem.
You know, you made another good point about the reason to buy travel from a third-party insurance company or insurer. Too many times we've seen situations where the supplier has gone into bankruptcy or financial insolvency and can't deliver the product. So if they're also the insurer, they don't have the wherewithal to pay you back, and you just become one more creditor. If you're lucky, you'll see 10 cents on the dollar years from now when the bankruptcy courts are finished dealing with them and their bankruptcy situation.
Absolutely. We've seen that a number of times with some cruise lines in the past where they have gone out, and you're in the long list, and you are going to get 10 cents on the dollar. It's tragic.
And wait a long time for it.
Absolutely. And these are big investments. Protect yourself.
Oh, well, for sure. I think, if you look at the average cruise, even if you're looking at something moderate, you're looking at somewhere between $1,500 and $3,000 a person.
Sure. And people are not comfortable losing that money. When you buy the trip, insure the trip, make sure you have coverage, and you'll be much better off for it.
Well, now that's another point that you made earlier regarding illnesses. Sometimes people have been told that they can't be insured because they have some pre-existing medical condition and insurance is just not available to them. And someone who's been dealing with a chronic situation and has been well for some period of time and wants to go away, doesn't want to become the prisoner of the illness. They're dealing with it and they go ahead and they plan a fairly expensive trip, which is more than just the money because there are dreams pinned to this as well. So it's really tragic when you don't get to go and the bubble bursts on the dream, but it's also a financial insult when you don't get the money back besides. But there are people that have just gone ahead and planned, hoping for the best, and then the nasty illness comes creeping back and stops them from going, and they're not insured. What do you do if you have a pre-existing condition to protect yourself from that? Can you?
You can, and it's important for customers and travelers to realize that travel insurance should be purchased within 7 to 21 days of you actually initially paying for that trip. In that window, you will be able to get pre-existing condition coverage, which the idea is, should you have a condition that arises that you may have had in the past, you will be covered, and so it's important.
If on the 1st of September, you decide this is the day I'm making my deposit, my payment on my tour, my cruise, I'm buying non-refundable airline tickets, and you've got in your traveling party someone with a pre-existing condition, that means between the 8th and the 22nd, would it be?
It actually means between September 1st, that day you paid for the trip, and the 21st. Different companies have these windows. Some companies only look at 7 days, some look at 21 days. But the rule of thumb is buy it immediately after you purchase your trip, and you're in good shape.
Then the insurance company realizes that you haven't planned to cash in on this situation.
Right. I don't feel well, that type of thing.
Okay.
And I need to get insurance.
We're going to take a little break, and we're going to come right back talking with Jim Grace, the president and CEO of InsureMyTrip.com. Take a look at these great photos. We'll be right back.